it's just my own decision to call playing a lick compositional playing. That's what I call it. Like if you're playing something that you know, then it's something you've played before and now you're playing it again. That's composition. It's like a song at that point. As opposed to improvisation, which to me is something that's spontaneously created. I mean, not out of nothingness, because we all have our way of thinking and our way of playing. But just generally the energy of the thing is more spontaneously generated than recreating something from before. And that's the confusion about soloing, like the word solo. At some point I realized not all solos are as improvisational as other solos. Some are more improvisational. And people improvise in rock too, and all musics really. And jazz, to me, like the thing I like about it, the thing that makes me call my music jazz, is that there's a lot of improvisation in it. That's what that means to me. Jazz means that. It doesn't necessarily mean the language of bebop or the language of post-bop or anything like that. Mm-hmm. If I found out early on, if I write a chord symbol down and give it to a bass player, unless that person is a master, I get cliche. Mm-hmm. That's what I hear. So I don't use chord symbols. What we use is sometimes, I don't even need to do this with Lefebvre, but with some bass players I would, it's just key centers. Mm-hmm. Like it's sort of in A, for example. Mm-hmm. But really, if you tell that to most bass players, even great bass players in the world, if you say it's sort of in A, what you're going to get is, you're going to get like dom sh go dom dom sh dom dom sh gam dum go ga gom sh go gom gom, which is like a prison if we're trying to be creative with the content. Mm-hmm. What A means really is that all the tension that we create is probably going to resolve to A occasionally. So it's really a kind of a point of resolution, not a point of departure. If you've got a groove like that, all you can do is try to play an impressive solo over it, which has nothing to do with that. That'll just continue as if you're not even taking a solo. Mm. So that kind of layered approach, which is how most music gets played, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it at all, that's some of my favorite music, but it's just for what we're trying to do, that doesn't work. My main interest right now is to connect more deeply with my ear, and it's basically that really. It's just everything I can think of relates to that. It's like if I can get in touch with my ear more, everything's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of different from learning scales and knowing about scales and practicing them and looking at chord changes and assigning scales to them and all that stuff. It's really a different way of playing, and it's a way that I shifted over to about 4 years ago, and I'm still kind of a beginner. There's still things that I hear that when I go to play on the guitar I fuck up, and so that means the connection isn't complete yet. I'm still my hands are still thinking on the guitar. Whatever the ear hears, I think it's about the connection between the guitar and that. And I think as long as that connection gets stronger, it doesn't really matter what the ear hears. It's not going to confuse, because what you're describing is as if the ear were hearing patterns that the hand learns, and then suddenly the ear hears a new pattern and the hand doesn't know that pattern. But I'm really talking about a deeper connection than that, where really, truly the idea is connected to your hands and is connected through the instrument. And that connection, if it's strong enough, should be able to play anything I can imagine. Because I'm not imagining, I don't hear, and I doubt I ever will hear, like a line that's as complex as, the fastest Coltrane lick that he ever came up with. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about kind of more basic melody and harmony, really. Mm-hmm. And also sound, too. But yeah, mostly I got in touch with this melodic ear that I have on the guitar for the first time, like maybe 5 years ago. It's recent, really, where I realized that I was hearing these melodies that I wasn't playing. And when I tried to play them, I couldn't, because I wasn't used to making that connection. And that's been getting stronger. that's felt really good. I mean, I've never enjoyed